are 5 underrated superheroes. 1. Martian Manhunter. A powerful alien with a wide range of abilities, including shape-shifting, telepathy, and telekinesis. He is a founding member of the Justice League, but he is often overshadowed by more popular heroes like Superman and Batman. Martian Manhunter aka John Jones, debuted in the backup story, The Strange Experiment of Dr. Erdel, in Detective Comics No. 225, November 1955, written by Joseph Samuelson and illustrated by Joe Certa. The character is a green-skinned humanoid from Mars, who is pulled to Earth by an experimental teleportation beam constructed by Dr. Saul Erdel. The Martian tells Erdel where he is from, and Erdel tells him that to send him back will require the teleportation beam's robot brain to be recalibrated, and that this may take years. Johns changes into the shape of a human to blend in until he can return to Mars. The shock of seeing this kills Dr. Erdel and leaves Johns with no way of returning home. The character decides to fight crime while waiting for Martian technology to advance to a stage that will enable his rescue. To that end, he adopts the identity of John Jones, a detective in the fictional Middletown, USA. 2. Animal Man. A man who can take on the powers of any animal. He is a member of the Justice League, but he has never been given his own solo series. Animal Man, Bernhard Buddy Baker, is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics. As a result of being in proximity to an exploding extraterrestrial spaceship, Buddy Baker acquires the ability to temporarily borrow the abilities of animals, such as a bird's flight or the proportionate strength of an ant. Using these powers, Baker fights crime as the costume superhero Animal Man. Created by writer Dave Wood and artist Carmine Infantino, Buddy Baker first appeared in Strange Adventures No. 180, September 1965, and adopted the name Animal Man in issue No. 190. Animal Man was a minor character for his first 20 years, never gaining the popularity of other DC heroes such as Batman or Superman. He made only 5 non-consecutive appearances in Strange Adventures, 4 of which were reprinted in Adventure Comics, followed by 2 appearances in Wonder Woman, 2 in Action Comics, and 2 in DC Comics Presents, appearing in consecutive issues of each. These 11 stories constitute the entirety of his pre-crisis appearances. He later became one of several DC properties, such as Shade, The Changing Man and Sandman, to be revived and revamped in the late 1980s for a more mature comics audience. As seen in Strange Adventures No. 195, he was billed as a full-time hero, an aspect that would be the most changed by the revamp. 3. The Question. A mysterious vigilante who fights crime with his intellect and his martial arts skills. He is a fan favorite, but he has never been given his own live-action movie or TV show. The Question is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics. Created by Steve Ditko, The Question first appeared in Charlton Comics' Blue Beetle No. 1, June 1967, and was acquired by DC Comics in the early 1980s and incorporated into the DC Universe. 1. The Question's secret identity was originally Vic Sage, later retconned as Charles Victor Zash. However, after the events of the 2006 to 2007 miniseries 52, Sage's protege Renee Montoya took up his mantle and became his successor. Following the New 52 relaunch, Sage was reintroduced as a mystical entity, then government agent, before being restored to his traditional detective persona and named after the events of DC Rebirth. As conceived by Ditko, The Question was an adherent of objectivism during his career as a Charlton hero, much like Ditko's earlier creation, Mr. A. In the 1987 to 1990 solo series from DC, the character developed a Zen-like philosophy. Since then, he has fluctuated in philosophical stance depending on the writer, but maintains a conspiratorial mindset and distrust of authority. 4. Booster Gold. A time traveler from the 25th century who uses his advanced technology to fight crime in the present day. He is a fun and humorous character, but he has never been taken seriously by DC Comics. Booster Gold, Michael John Carter, is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics. Created by Dan Jurgens, the character first appeared in Booster Gold number 1, February 1986, and has been a member of the Justice League. He is initially depicted as a glory-seeking showboat from the future, staging high-publicity heroics through his knowledge of historical events and futuristic technology. Carter develops over the course of his publication history and through personal tragedies to become a hero weighed down by his reputation. The character has been portrayed in live-action television by Eric Martsolf in Smallville and by Donald Faison in the 7th season of the Arrowverse series Legends of Tomorrow. The character will appear in an upcoming self-titled television series on HBO Max, set in the DC Universe, DCU, media franchise. 5. Captain Atom. A nuclear-powered superhero who can fly, shoot energy blasts, and withstand great amounts of damage. He is a powerful character, but he has been plagued by poor writing and inconsistent characterization. Captain Atom was created by writer Joe Gill and artist/co-writer Steve Ditko, and first appeared in Space Adventures number 33, March 1960. Captain Atom was initially created for Charlton Comics, but was later acquired by DC Comics and revised for DC's post-crisis continuity. In 2011, DC Comics relaunched its superhero comics and rewrote the histories of some characters from scratch, including Captain Atom, giving him a new origin, appearance and slightly altered powers. Captain Atom was the character inspiration for Dr. Manhattan, who was featured in the miniseries and later live-action film adaptation, Watchmen, which would be connected to the DC Universe in the miniseries Doomsday Clock. Throughout the years, the character has been featured in several moderate to short-lived eponymous series, and has been a member of several different versions of DC's flagship superhero team, the Justice League. In all incarnations, the character initially served for the military. In the Charlton Comics continuity, he was a scientist named Alan Adam and gained his abilities by accident when he was seemingly atomized, and then his body reformed, now existing as an atomic-powered being. In both DC Comics incarnations, he is an Air Force pilot named Nathaniel Adam, who was a test subject in a scientific experiment who seemingly disintegrated in the process, only to reappear later as the superpowered Captain Atom. Over the years, DC has attempted to reinvent the character several times. For a period, the character assumed the mantle of the supervillain Monarch, and in 2005 DC attempted to retell the Captain Atom story with an entirely new character, Breach, who was subsequently discarded. In the new continuity following DC's 2011 relaunch, Captain Atom has never been a member of the Justice League and the team views him with distrust. His character origin and abilities were also revised. Captain Atom has appeared in several animated television and film adaptations of Justice League and other DC storylines since the mid-2000s, where he is depicted as a powerful member of the Justice League whose abilities place him roughly on par with the franchise's flagship character Superman. In several animated depictions, he has served the role as a government stooge when the government has brought itself into conflict with the Justice League. These are just a few of the many underrated superheroes out there. If you are looking for a new superhero to read about, I encourage you to check out some of these characters. You might be surprised at how much you enjoy them.